Welcome back to Nickel and Dime. It is with bittersweet sentiment we join you this evening. On one hand, yes, we are here to guide you to Super Bowl 57, Philadelphia Eagles versus Kansas City Chiefs. But on the other hand, we are here to say this is our last broadcast as Nickel and Dime. It has been a great 3-year run. Couldn't have asked for a better co-host with Suds. Had a great time hanging out, talking football. But alas, life has got the best of us. It is what it is. So let's have fun. We're here to celebrate the 3 years we had together. We're not here to be sad about it.
Yeah.
We're here to celebrate. So, with that, one last time, hit that subscribe button. It's Nickel and Dime.
Oh man, I couldn't have put that better. That was tear jerking, bittersweet, bittersweet. Nah, man, but but you're right though. It's a celebratory that we got 3 years
Three
out of
years,
it,
man.
like just with your travel schedule and your life and my
Your
life
your
and
your girl dad slash
school, work,
career.
girl,
Yeah.
dad. Yeah, it's becoming too much, but we still love you, the people from my heart. I'm sure from Drew's heart as well. I think I speak for Drew as well.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in. Like we have
Yes.
had some diehards who have been with us the whole time. I am talking to you, the people who have been with us. Thank you so much from me. Thank you. Like and
Yeah.
subscribe. Stick around, man. Drew's got plenty more
Yeah, we're still
content
gonna do some stuff,
all over.
We still got my
Yeah,
funny
all
friends.
over.
We got some guests coming, talking about that. So it'll be great. Keep rolling with us. But Shawn, let's go ahead. Don't want to take away from the fact that the Super Bowl is upon us. So let's go ahead and
It
recap
is.
this conference championship, how we got here. First game, kind of disappointing. We didn't get the matchup we thought we were going to get because the
Yeah.
poor 49ers can't keep a healthy quarterback.
Drew, I mean, you gotta admit, like in hindsight, they were always playing on borrowed time. I mean, how many teams can get to this point and be on their third string quarterback, and for the third string
And then fourth
quarterback to
string.
win a lot of games and fourth string and on the way, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they were on borrowed time, man. I hate that Brock Purdy actually went out the way he did. That he didn't go
Yeah.
out fighting because he got injured. Drew,
The fact
not
that he
how
came in and still tried with that
yeah,
damaged arm. Like, what?
yeah. And well, they had him wrapped up, and I know like I had seen that George Kittle was actually talking to him on the side. I was like, "Hey man, can you throw with your left hand?" Like
Can
you
are
know,
you
he
are
was
you amphibious?
legitimate question. But no, well, you gotta. They went out like that, but you still have to give kudos to the San Francisco defense, man. Like talking about being celebratory, they got the team here. Brock Purdy just led them the way they needed to go. But Josh Johnson, I mean, he didn't pass the ball much. He only had 13 attempts, Drew.
Yeah. It's it was tough watching him, and then to have two quarterbacks injured on the same play. Like it was like a recreation of the play that Purdy got hurt, that Johnson went out. And then the Eagles knew what the 49ers were going to do from then on out. It was going to be
Yeah.
runs, and they stomped it out. And I mean, it was nice to see Colonel Sanders get involved. He had two rushing touchdowns. Hurts didn't
He
have to
did.
do much, 15 for 25, 121 yards, 39 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown. So the Eagles realized early on that the 49ers were kind of in dire circumstances, and they ran the ball and they ran it effectively. And
They
on to
didn't
the
have to
Super
do
Bowl.
much, Drew.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do much. And
31-7.
that's
I
like,
just did not see that. I hate we were robbed of the game we all wanted.
yeah. well, in playoff time, that's what you want. That's what you want to see. But you can't you can't help but like the game was going to happen the way it happened. However, they didn't need to do much, but nobody was injured. They still got one more game to play, the big one,
Yeah.
and it was a dominant performance. So if you're the Eagles, I think this is exactly what you wanted, not to the 49ers, but alas, we're going to talk about the Eagles a little bit more in a moment. Getting into what they need to do to win this the Super Bowl game, Drew. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on this game, man?
No, it's just it's nice to see the evolution of Hertz, and now he is a NFC champion quarterback, and you can't take that away from him. And that's just nice.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love that.
Yeah. Well, onward to the AFC. Little controversy here, little rumblings on social media about how this game went down, but the Chiefs edged out 23-20 to the Bengals. A couple. It was a rough officiated game. It was tough to watch. No matter which side you were on, it was tough to watch. You
Yeah,
can maybe,
yeah.
and I'm sure you're about to make this case. You can maybe make a case that one side benefited a little bit more than the other, but it was just overall
Yes.
terrible officiating.
Yeah, and and I'll be honest. Like, of course, I'm going to be a little bit hard on the Chiefs. We're more, we talked about that more for them to come in a little bit. But just breaking down this game, they definitely benefited from some calls. What I didn't say is what I didn't see and I saw after the fact was really the breakdown of the kind of calls that did not go against the Chiefs and that went against the Bengals, or you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it was not a great officiating day for the league, but
Yeah.
you know,
To be fair, that third down call, they did clarify that one. The ref did come flying in, but no one saw him, and he had a wide receiver run by him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, never mind. Nope, I'm not gonna
yeah,
get hit.
yeah, he
I'm
just
not
took
gonna
the
get
whole
murdered."
thing back.
He's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
Then afterwards, he's like, "I actually
and
stopped
that,
the play. Just throwing that out
yeah, yeah. I mean, to save face at this point,
there." Could you imagine if they're
but
going over the tape, like, "Why were you running on the field?" Like, don't worry about
yeah, yeah. But in that circle, they definitely know what's going on. And now, for the next game, Drew, I think all eyes are really going to be on this officiating crew.
it. They
Whoever got the
better.
Super Bowl,
They got to
it's
put
got to
their
be
best of their
clean. It's
best
got
out
to
there.
be clean.
And do they
Yeah,
have that?
they really do.
Do they have that right now?
I love but just talking a little bit because we're going to talk about the Chiefs a little bit later. I mean, Joe Burrow, 270 yards. He threw the two picks, and the team was like they weren't. They weren't they were it seemed like they were asleep early and then they had to
Yeah.
make that comeback. So I that's not what
They
you want
looked
to see
like
from
their
them.
offense was rolling there in the second half, though. I thought they were gonna come down and score a touchdown and really put the pressure on Mahomes, who was visibly injured and bothered by that ankle. You can't
Yeah,
say that Mahomes was Mahomes. Hats off to him for putting 23 points on this Cincinnati defense. With no legs, basically.
yeah.
Lieutenant Dan, he ain't got no legs.
And he was like, and what I love to see about it is even though he didn't have the legs, like he doesn't have to beat you and get out of the pocket. Like he stood there in the pocket.
Yeah,
And to Patrick Mahomes' credit, he in both defense knew that he was a little hobbled and he still worked from the pocket, got MVS involved, 6 receptions for 116 yards. And that's what you're going to need. I love to see it coming from the Chiefs that it wasn't Travis Kelsey who was the leading receiver in the game. So they need to keep that going in the Super Bowl with as good of a showing as the Eagles just put out there, Drew.
yeah,
So
man.
I want to see them continue that.
What I truly feel like we got the two best teams this year. We got the two number one seeds in the Super Bowl. I'm hyped for
Yeah.
that. I'm excited.
And that doesn't happen often. Like, so I'm actually like, I am a little bit happy
Yeah,
that really is going down
yeah,
on Sunday.
yeah. All right, man. Well, I got it's the two teams are left, but for all things, all other rumblings in the league. The offseason has started, so I got a bunch of housekeeping notes for you.
I
First,
know.
Panthers got a coach. They hire Frank Wright from the old Colts coach. He was the first quarterback in team history, so there's a little history there. I was a little bummed at first, but I'm coming around to it because I'm seeing the staff he's putting together. And we got the
Yeah,
Denver defensive coordinator. We got I think it looks like Staley's coming in to be our running backs coach. Like that's dope.
always a good hire. Yeah,
Yeah,
always a good
so
hire.
I'm excited about it
I think that it don't necessarily seem like you're super excited about it, but I feel like you got to be on
because
board.
I'm
At this
still
point, you
hurt.
have to be on board,
I'm
right?
still hurt for Wilkes. I still wanted Wilkes,
Yeah,
but it's one of those things that like my heart wanted Wilkes, but my mind knew we needed an offensive minded coach.
yeah, yep.
So
And honestly, I might be in the same boat. I might be in the same boat. So,
yeah,
and the staff does help because
yeah,
like I think that on a lot of great winning teams, which is why coaches get plucked from winning teams, a staff is really the core group and what may push you over the top. So like I love to see great hires. Deuce Staley, definitely. I don't know who like
hyped, dude.
yeah. And actually, like I can't remember. I'm blanking on his name right now, but I did heard that y'all did get a pretty good defensive coordinator
Yeah,
as
I can't think.
well.
It's a literature.
So
Ajiro Evero is the Panthers defensive coordinator. Since other news, Sean Payton's the new Denver head coach. Didn't see. I thought he was going back to the booth, but
yeah,
heading to Denver. It's so funny because all the rumblings were Vic Fangio was going to be his defensive coordinator, but he's the
right.
Broncos' former coach, so can't really go back there. He got
Yeah,
hired in Miami.
yeah. And Vic Fangio now back in the league. Uh, and what I love is the Saints are now back in the first round because they gave up a first round pick as part of that deal. So they got to I want to say pick 29.
I didn't know
Uh,
that. How do the Broncos have anything? How do they have any
I
picks? I thought all the picks were gone because of Russell Wilson. But hey,
yeah. So that's I mean, like I think it's gonna make waves because Vic Fangio, whenever he is in charge of a defense, you usually see an uptick in that defensive performance. So
and
and
got some
Miami needs a
building blocks
defensive
too.
turnaround.
Got
Yeah,
some tough
yeah,
players. See what he can do with Bradley Chubb.
yeah,
Well, it's not all terrible news for Steve Wilkes. I am happy he is the new 49ers defensive coordinator. So good for him. He got snatched up real quick.
it sounds like it. That really sounds like lament right there. Like in that
Yeah.
delivering that news. No, what I think what was interesting, Drew, about Wilkes getting hired by the 49ers is everybody loves Shanahan, and Shanahan making that hire just goes to show you, like, hey, this dude
This
is
dude's
legit.
legit.
So yeah,
He
yeah.
just had
So
two rough circumstances, that he's
yeah,
had
and
to help
I
people.
don't and I because I don't think that like you're high like I don't think Shanahan with that defense is hiring somebody who cannot immediately give you a quick turnaround
Yes.
in that defense and keep it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So great
Because
hire
he's
by them.
keeping it going from D'Amico Ryans, who was hired as the Texans head coach.
Yep.
Coaching carousel continues. Another great name that we love here at the podcast, Brian Flores, is the Vikings' new defensive coordinator.
Yeah. So, what do you think that? And they need it, man. They need it. What a great hire for them.
Yeah.
Honestly, what a great hire for them. And I think Drew. Part of the reason, like, let me know what you think about this. Is like I feel like the coaching carousel is actually getting in place now because it's combine season. The combine invites actually just went out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they got to get those staffs in place to get this draft
I was
preparation
thinking
going.
about this, man, because I feel like it hurts Eric Bieniemy every year because like all the jobs get snatched up and given out,
Yeah,
and he's still
yeah,
in the playoffs every
yeah,
year.
yeah.
So I think that's poor
Great point,
guys.
man.
Yeah, I don't
Now,
know.
and to you're exactly right. It probably just didn't come up yet, but like I wasn't even thinking about that at this time. It's like, yes, I actually think that is a detriment to him. And maybe some of the other perennial candidates, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So gotta think about that.
yeah. Um, Titans promote the passing game coordinator Tim Kelly as their new offensive coordinator. So we'll see what
Okay.
their game plan is. They sticking with Tannehill. They
Yeah.
just giving it to Henry again. What's the game plan? You would think
Yeah,
passing
I
game coordinator would want to throw the ball a little bit more, but we'll see.
had Yeah, I don't know. With that team, man, with that team, I don't know about that. But maybe that's what they're gonna do in the draft, double dip. They just took Traylon Burks last year, so maybe they double dip a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. Saints expected to hire Joe Woods as their defensive coordinator. He's the Browns' former defensive coordinator.
All right, all right, all
Saints also
right.
meet with quarterback Carr. So there's also rumors that there's an agreement in place on compensation if the
Yep.
Saints want to go that route.
If they want to pull that trigger, Drew, I don't know, man. How you feel about it? How you feel about
I don't want
Carr
I don't want Carr in
literally
the
being linked to
division.
the division?
Yeah, I don't want him in the
You don't want
division.
him in the division?
Nah,
Yeah.
nah. I want him to go to
Do
like
you think he
the Seahawks or something.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't want him to go to the Saints. I don't
No.
necessarily if he doesn't come to us, I don't know that I want him in the division either. But the thing is I think if he does come here, it does make the teams better. Like what do you think about that? Like in your opinion, if Carr comes into the division, does that immediately make the two teams as they stand right now better that are your rivals? Talking about Saints, Bucks.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think Carr with the Saints is way better than what they were putting out there last year. So that's
Yeah,
tough, man. I don't want that.
yeah.
I don't, and I'm very intrigued to what y'all do in the quarterback department. Very intrigued where Tampa Bay goes because I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to be looking down the double barrel of like Jimmy G and Derek Carr, both of them coming to the division.
That
Like
could
I
and
need a quarterback. I don't want other teams to get their quarterbacks first.
Yeah, yeah. I think you knew there was always a timeline where Brady did retire as he did, and one quarterback was coming to the division. But now you may have the potential of two because neither one of the quarterbacks on the Saints roster balled out last year, so now they're in the same predicament that they were. Uh, so yeah, I think they do. It does make it look better, but we'll see. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I guess we'll see how it all plays out in the
Yeah.
QB carousel.
But yeah, like you said, we hadn't had a chance to talk about it. Tom Brady retires again.
Yeah, and I think it's done, folks. I think it's
I
done.
think it's for real
It's
done now.
done. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's done.
yeah,
What I can call Brady and I'll get to this in a second, but we got to address the elephant in the room. It is February 7th when we were filming. No go on the Tom Brady thirst trap. We are not.
Oh
That
God, that
was
was terrible. What are you,
I do not condone
bro? What are you
that.
doing?
I don't know, man. I do not condone that. But do as you may. I don't judge.
Yeah.
But I just want to thank Tom for the years, man.
Independent survey says that they estimate 50 million adults will bet around $16 billion on the Super Bowl.
16 billion with a B.
Yeah,
That's crazy. And what's crazy about it, Drew, is you have to expect that number to go up as more states legalize gambling. And it should be like it doesn't hurt anybody unless you have a problem and
right.
then in case get help. But like
Yes.
it's largely, it's lighthearted, or that's what you want it to be. So I can
Yeah.
honestly see that happening. And 16 billion, you're not expected to go up, man.
Oof. Oof. Oof.
Yeah.
NFC beats the AFC in the newly formatted Pro Bowl.
Uh, I love that it was just a cameo fest. And you gotta love what's on Twitter, Reddit, all the socials these days about the boy Derek Carr just out here having himself an off season.
He ain't
Uh,
got no home. He just chilling.
just out here chilling, man.
He's
Like,
like, I
and
guess I'm with the AFC. I don't know.
yeah, and that and honestly, like if you're a free agent or a team who needs a quarterback, like that kind of relaxed kind of swag, you want that in the locker room, especially from a guy who can get it done and can laugh at himself. So just one of the guys, man, out here having himself a combine for the combine, you know.
Yeah, out here trying to get a job.
I love it. I love it. That's what you got to do. You get to do it on a national stage. And oh, Drew, I mean, you heard about Cam Jordan, right? You heard about Cam Jordan? What he
I
said?
mean, please tell me.
Oh man. So
Because I'm not going to lie to you, Sean. Didn't care about the Pro Bowl before. Didn't care about it now. I watch the dodgeball contest if I catch it. That's about all
yeah,
I care about.
most of what I
Because I
saw,
love
man.
dodgeball and grown men that are great athletes playing dodgeball. Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah. And what's crazy is you're exactly right because I feel the same way. And honestly, like I'm a little scared to watch it because like these are highly trained athletes and highly paid athletes, and I just like I'm watching it with like walking on eggshells because I don't want to see them get hurt because then like you know what
But
that means.
that's so funny to me is because you can definitely see which players are just athletes and which players
Yeah.
have just been taught how to be good football players. Like that's my favorite part. Like, cause you got guys out there that play defense and they're trying to catch a dodgeball and they're like, I don't know what to do. It's fantastic.
And just because it's a different shape too,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's why they can't,
I hadn't played
I
this
guess
since third
function.
grade.
Yeah, that happens, man. It happens.
How you feeling about AJ Green announcing his retirement? Another
Shout
player from
out
that,
AJ Green, man.
another person from that very talented 2011 first round draft that calls it a career.
Yeah, yeah. What was crazy, and I like shout to AJ Green because AJ Green was a part of my life in a way that like I was dominant in. So what I didn't know, this is like I really honestly started to get back into the draft at this point. But shout out NCAA football, whatever year it was, because AJ Green, number 7. I just used to like we had a franchise. It was like an online franchise that season, and I
Uh,
just randomly picked Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Whoever shout out wide receiver number 7 on NCAA football 19 or something like that, like or whatever
AJ
it
Green.
was, like 10. It was AJ Green. So like I
Yeah,
was like, who is this dude in real life? It was AJ Green. And
yeah.
he went on to have the career that NCAA football said he was going to have. So
They didn't lie.
they did not lie. Like just dominant. Like I was the number 1 in the league that year. Um,
Nice.
and like it was crazy because I mean you know how heated it could get when you talking trash online, right? So this was back when people would use mics.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
people would talk trash, and I'm like, oh yeah, all right, and I would
Okay.
just run AJ Green on a non-route, and that was it. That was it. That was it.
Done. Uh, a little bit of Chiefs news. Chiefs quarterback L'Jarius Sneed clears concussion protocol. He will be available for the Super Bowl, as will Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Good news for the Chiefs, man. Great news for the Chiefs. You want to be at full strength. Um,
That comes with the news that Mecole Hardman will not be available for the Super Bowl.
mm,
But
that
if
that does
Tony's
suck.
their speed guy now,
Yeah. Well, and honestly, like Tony's been a great addition. Like overall, you have to say he's been a great addition. Miko Hardman is, they did not do much. Like I was actually just gonna put it on Hardman, but Hardman only had 2 for 10, and Tony had 1 for 9. But that's they got MVS more involved. Obviously, maybe that was part of the game plan. I just wanted to be more consistent. Like they on paper, they should have everything that they need, but like they haven't been performing like that the last couple of weeks, Drew. I feel like so. Before we get into the game too much, like that's probably we'll talk about that here more in a second.
yeah. Last housekeeping note I got Aaron Rodgers to decide his future on a 4-day, and I quote, complete darkness retreat.
I don't even know what that entails, but we
He's
are
in a
all
cabin somewhere that there it's dark for 4 days. He's gonna be there for 4 days. No sunlight, just himself and his thoughts and his future.
Yeah, yeah. And there's
I would
there's
say, I would say,
there's already good.
I would say I could take enough, enough marijuanas to get through it, but I don't know if that would make me paranoid. Just out there in the darkness, like I don't
Man,
know.
yeah, not with that dude, with that guy. Man, there's already bets out. Like there are people or sites that have bets out on what drug this man is going to take on this trip. I mean, they got like all types of stuff for like different sets of odds. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. And he'll be right back at it. He'll be right back at it next season because I don't think he's going to retire.
I don't think I think he comes out clear. Like he's like, I need another MVP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a Super Bowl, an
Nah.
MVP.
Yeah.
Thinly veiled
Yeah.
shot at
Right.
Rodgers.
That's why he's making 50 million and his team can't afford other players.
All right.
All right. Next up, we got some three and out where we ask the tough questions about NFL football. Shawn, first down, I got you here. Brady says he's joining the broadcasting booth in 2024.
Right.
Tony Romo started off with a bang, but as rumors have floated around, he's been called into meetings saying he sucks now. And Greg Olson's doing his thing. So when it's all said and done,
Mm-hmm.
who has the better broadcasting career? Romo, Brady, or Olson?
Man, and I hate to be a creature of the moment, Drew. Great question. But I gotta go Greg Olson. I gotta go
Yeah.
Greg Olson,
He's done
man.
great, right?
He's
I love when he's calling a game.
I love when he's calling the game too, because he's clearly still tapped in. He's
Mm-hmm.
cool enough that like I think he always will be tapped in.
Yes.
And he's had the kind of rise that you would expect from somebody who's had all types of games, called. I think like he's had big ones and like he kind of worked his way up. But I think when it's all said and done, he'll keep ascending because he's doing the same thing that he did with his career, Drew. Like he's been
Yeah.
working like all his whole career. So I don't expect anything different.
Yeah, he's just one of those 110% guys, no matter what he's
Yep.
doing. I bet he built his kid's playground in like record time. Like just one of those
Yep.
dudes that can't just mail it in. He's just like,
Nah, he can't. He can't.
yeah,
Some would say that's Jordan-esque,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I
Some would
wish I
some
had
would
more of
say.
that in me. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
man. Yep. Like and
Uh,
he like you chill with him and like you like say you were helping him put that together, even though he did 90% of it,
oh
right?
yeah,
But
you're
like
just
and
handing him
then
tools at this point.
right, yeah. And he's probably like, man, I could have did that faster. And you like, Greg, man, chill, bro. Like
Just relax, man.
just chill, man.
Here, have a
Just
beer.
chill.
You want to chug it? Oh man, what you got on second down?
Listen, man, we're talking about asking the tough questions, man. We really just a quick look back at the two teams who lost the NFC Championship game, the Bengals and the San Francisco 49ers. Drew, what do you think, in your opinion, could have put those teams over the top in terms of a player? So give me like one example for each team, I guess.
49ers, I feel like they just needed a healthy quarterback. I think they had it there. I don't know if their defense defense baffled me a little bit, giving up as much rushing yards as they did. So
Mm-hmm. It was uncharacteristic. It
yeah,
was.
but I don't know if they just realized that all their quarterbacks were hurt and they were just like like
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It
it's
did kind of look
crazy.
like they mailed
If
it
they
in a
could have
little
had a
bit.
healthy quarterback, I just want to replay that game, see what it is. And then the Bengals, man, I don't know. Like the Bengals did what they I felt like they threw what they could at them. Like I
Yeah.
love that anytime these two teams play each other, that they leave it all out there. And it's just for the most part, the Bengals have gotten the best of them, but this time Patrick Mahomes fired back and caught them.
Yeah.
So I truly don't know what the Bengals could have. You play that game 10 times, and I feel like the Chiefs win 5 times and the Bengals win 5 times.
Yeah. I think you're right there. And the one thing I guess I can say about the Bengals, man, and honestly about a lot of teams, young teams that actually get in these situations, is it didn't seem like to me that the sense of urgency was there
Yeah,
early.
yeah.
That it's like
The three
it
and out seemed very nonchalant.
that's what I'm saying. So like it's for me, as soon as that ball drops, man, it's almost like it's getting late and you need to find a dance partner. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as the clock starts, it seems like the game's already over in
Yeah,
these playoff scenarios. So
yeah.
them getting down early, it just didn't look like they were playing with a sense of urgency, and I think it cost them.
You attribute that to coaching, this team being too young, like the veteran leaders not
Um,
being like, "Hey, what are we doing?"
I think that they thought they might have just been a kind of a character or you know like an unfortunate circumstance of like how they had been viewing themselves coming into the game. I think that Burrow land comment, like you know, like they just I guess they thought it
Feeling
was just
themselves too
gonna
much.
was gonna it was gonna happen, and you know, honestly, the Chiefs they came to play, but I think if Cincinnati was really ready to play this game, maybe if they had those first two quarters been a little bit better, then maybe it would have turned out differently. But they, you know, it got late early.
Yeah, yeah. All right, third down, Sean. Give me. I love how you are with the draft. Give me a bold prediction for the draft. Something crazy going on.
Oh man, honestly, I think that there is going to be a couple of like I don't know when the trades are going to happen, but I think there's going to be a couple of trades inside and out of the top 10 for these quarterbacks. Um, I think the last time that there was legit four quarterbacks that could go in the first round, that's the last time like you really saw a lot of you know a lot of you know, trading basically
Yeah,
in and out, moving the draft pick stuff like that. So I honestly think that happens this year. With the
my
first
team
pick,
might be one of them.
they might be one of them trading in or out because you
Yeah,
know it could go either way because the Panthers are a team
I
with a lot of
just
needs, or they could just get the quarterback if they covet at nine, or maybe even move up.
they if CBS don't stop telling us we're getting Richardson from Florida, I'm gonna lose my mind, dude. It's
Yeah.
CJ Stroud or bust for me. I want CJ Stroud or I
Okay.
don't want any of these other quarterbacks.
All right, putting your stamp on it, putting your stamp on it. Richardson has been mocked to us in a couple of drafts too. So I
That makes
mean,
sense though, because y'all draft later. He makes zero sense to me at 9.
at nine, yeah, yeah. Now the last one I saw, y'all had taken a pass rusher, Keon White out of
I would
Georgia
love
Tech.
that. Please do. Yes. Sounds great.
Not any other
Not
quarterback other
any
than
of these
Stroud.
quarterbacks. And don't give away the future to get that number one spot from Chicago either.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be Chicago, but I think there's probably like legit maybe like five teams
I'm
that could
still waiting
be
for them to pull the
trade
full
candidates.
blown heel turn and trade their quarterback they got Fields and go and start fresh at one. Something in me just feels that coming for some
Man,
reason. I don't know why.
that would be like pouring gasoline on the money in the Batman movie and just lighting it on fire.
Some
Like
men
that.
just want to watch the world burn.
Oh my God. I can't see them doing that. But if they did, I mean, I cannot effectively rule that out that
Yeah,
that's
I
going
don't
to
know.
happen.
Whenever he started talking about it, I was like, he's gonna do it.
I think you want to see that happen. That's what it
Oh, of course,
sounds
you
like.
know me. I'm
Oh,
an
I
agent of
know.
chaos, sir.
I know. I know. It would be interesting to see.
All right, what you got for me? Fourth down.
All right, Drew. Keeping it on the draft, man. Looking forward to the draft. Give me a team in the bottom 16 or a player that you're hearing at this point in the season and which you're looking forward to come this draft season, come this draft night.
Something that I've been looking at a lot of mock drafts because my team's in the top 10. I'm excited about what could possibly happen.
Right?
I saw something crazy. CBS, I think, currently has the Colts trading up to the one spot and getting Will Levis. So that
Yeah.
would be insanity,
Yeah.
right? And that's still Mel Kiper's number one quarterback. So I don't. There's got to be a little. I don't trust Mel Kiper at all. I feel like he misses every year.
Right.
But of all the mock drafts and all the different personalities and all the different things, I've continuously seen Will Anderson be tied to the Cardinals, which makes sense because of J.J. Watt just retiring. Anderson,
Huge need.
arguably the best player in the draft and the
Yep. Right.
best pass rusher in the
Right.
draft, makes sense to go ahead and get the J.J. Watt of the future.
Yeah. If indeed he is that. If indeed he is that.
I mean,
Watch.
you don't want to put you're the J.J. Watt of the future, but don't put that pressure on me.
Right. Right.
Like,
Right.
oh, that's too much. I'm
That
getting the
is
Hall of
it's a
Famer.
lot. That is a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
First
But yeah,
ballot too.
I've seen that. To be honest with you, man, I don't think unless like unless you're one of the teams high up and you know for a fact you like one quarterback, I don't think anyone knows how these quarterback dominoes are going to fall. Like this is one of those years where every year the quarterbacks mess up a perfectly good draft. And I think if anything, this year is one of those years that's primed for it. I could see teams trading the first four picks to get the first four quarterbacks. It could be all chaos. And I don't think any of these quarterbacks are worth a top five selection, but
Mm.
at least two of them are going in the top five.
If yes, good. Good. Just I have nothing to add to that. Like
Yeah.
that is madness. I think what you're describing, and I think you're right that it is the quarterbacks who kind of mess up a good draft. I haven't really heard it put it that way
Yeah.
before, but that's really what it is because that's what creates the chaos is teams jockeying for these quarterbacks and stuff like that. So,
Because it's become a chess battle. Now you got to
yeah,
get the young quarterback on the rookie deal so you can pay the wide receiver and pay the defensive end. And then you start the whole process over again when your quarterback it wants too much money. Now
right.
you're like, oh, what do I do now? Well, now I got to trade the wide receiver because I can't afford the quarterback and the wide receiver. Like it's just a thing.
Yeah, and that's why they have to do it with quarterbacks on rookie deals, man, and the whole team. That's what it is now. I think you either have a veteran quarterback who you want on the cheap, you have a rookie quarterback, and you need veteran players who are big production players on cheaper deals, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And why do they keep saying the salary cap's going up if every team is having more and more problems keeping teams together from year to year, which is I guess we're all better for seeing the drama of players moving in the off season, which is always nice. But I would you want to keep your good players.
Yeah, I think this offseason is going to be madness. And
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. All right, man, let's talk Super Bowl. It's down to two
Let's do
teams.
it.
Super Bowl 57. Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs. Great offenses. And the Chiefs have shown a pretty good defense too. So I feel like they're way more even in the defensive category than I would have said maybe 3 weeks ago.
Man, I guess we got to address the elephant in the room. I mean, for me, the Chiefs like they haven't been playing their best ball coming in. You know what I'm saying? The last couple of weeks, they have won the game. And honestly, like we talked about that, I talked about this a little bit before, but I really think that's largely due to just Patrick Mahomes and to a lesser extent Travis Kelsey. You
Willing this
know?
team to victory.
Yeah, and they're getting some of their star players or lesser star players in spurts, in VS obviously in the championship game, Isaiah Pacheco in the game before. And now they're getting Clyde Edwards-Helaire back, and he adds another element to it. So I just want to see them be more consistent and play their best ball, which I don't feel like I don't want them to just rely on Patrick Mahomes because they have him.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. But they're gonna have to. Like, it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
This team lives and dies. And I think the other team on the other side of the football is more dependent on their quarterback than they want to let us know too. Because they stumbled a little bit when Jalen Hurts got hurt. Now he's
Yeah.
back at the helm, so it really is quarterback versus quarterback, and I'm happy to see it. I'm excited to see it. I want this to be one of those, and I know we talk about it every time it ends up being a 6-3 game at halftime, but I want a 45-42 game. Obviously I know who I want to win because I want a happy household.
Right,
I
right,
know who
right.
you're probably going to pick too. But I truly think we're set up for a truly great Super Bowl. I'm here for the commercials. I'm here for Rihanna at halftime. I'm just
Yeah.
excited about it, man.
Yeah, I'm getting more excited about it, and like, it gets a little more, it gets a little easier. The weeks pass, your team loses, you're out of it.
See, my
It
team
gets a
went in the
little.
playoffs. I've been happy. I'm good to go.
You
I'm good
way
to
past
go.
the seven stages of grief,
Yeah.
way
I
past
was,
that.
me, I was pulling for us to lose.
Yeah, yeah. Where do you get that draft pick in? And now you in position to do some things. Now
There
you
we
in
go.
position. You know what I'm saying? So
Not
more excited for
draft
you.
Richards.
Uh, Drew putting a stamp on it right now. Uh, Come draft night, we got to play this in the loop. Like I don't care where you are, we got to play this in the loop. If you draft
I hope I'm
Richardson,
not jinxing it and speaking this into
speaking of,
existence.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah, that
goodness.
might be a thing. That might be a thing.
Oh,
When Drew, I honestly, bro, I'm excited about all of those things. After
yeah.
the grief is past, and definitely Rihanna. I'm excited about
Rihanna, the
that.
snacks,
It's
like
gotta have
we
the
already got our
snacks.
snack list. We're good. I'm making some fried pickles. We're
Okay,
set. We're
okay.
set.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm curious to see because I feel like the last year's commercials kind of let us down a little bit. So maybe they get their
It
swag
was
back.
quality and not quantity last year. I feel like they had
Mm-hmm.
like three really good commercials, and the rest were just.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
hopefully we get a couple more in the
this
top
year,
tier this year.
this year. But I mean, more so talking about Philly. Obviously, we gotta talk about them, and largely, I guess, before we get into our picks, things like that. But I feel like Philly is actually rolling at the right time. We talked about it a little bit before, rolling over the Eagles, doing what they needed to do, playing a four-string quarterback.
Yeah.
Like they and they
And to
did.
be honest with you, the way they looked, I think they would have put it on the 49ers if Purdy was humming anyway.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they were getting to him, they were putting him in the dirt. There's a reason they knocked two quarterbacks out of the game.
It was. It was. And that's what I feel bad for. Like I'm glad Patrick Mahomes' ankle is actually a little healthier because
He
I
gonna
feel
need to
like
run.
he gonna need to run. The way I mentioned it on my personal Facebook page, but listen, if you thought 2020 was bad for Patrick Mahomes having to run this year, this Eagles defense I think has the most sacks in history or some sort of crazy stat like with the amount of sacks that this team has. So they know how to get to the quarterback.
Yes.
The Chiefs' offensive line hasn't been playing that great. I don't know if there's another injury there or not, but in the running game has almost been non-existent. So what does that
Yeah.
lead you to do? It leads you to lean on Patrick Mahomes. I think this is playing right into the Chiefs, right into the Eagles' hands. As long as the offense, which has been humming, is able to do
Does
it,
what it
like
does.
just be status quo.
Yeah. I mean, all the
Everything to me
pressure.
looks like it's going against the Chiefs. Everything to me looks like it's going against the Chiefs. So
And that's when they shine.
that's when Patrick Mahomes going to be Patrick Mahomes. And honestly, I don't put it past Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like I think when it's all said and done, there just might be some magic in this guy. Like I can't explain it. I can't explain it. And that is what just may be a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. Like that
Yeah.
just did.
Someone said, someone made the joke that he plays so well in the playoffs because he doesn't want to go home. I'm like,
Oh man,
ooh.
yeah. I think that is honestly is definitely a part of the reason why I don't like Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
yeah. She did. He
Part of
did
it.
good keeping her and his brother off of TV this year. So shout out
Yeah,
to him for that.
yeah. That
Getting the
was
real
that was
MVP.
intentional. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was intentional. I wanna. If I could have been a fly on the wall during that conversation.
Oh, it got heated. You want me
Yeah.
to do what now? Oh man, but no, I think you just hit the nail on the head. The Chiefs have to have some kind of run game, take some of the pressure off Mahomes, at least a variety, because
Right.
the Eagles have all those different schemes. They can, they have a great secondary. So if they need to play in the nickel or more like a modified dime the whole game because they know the Chiefs are just going to throw the ball, then I don't feel like they have a problem doing that.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
definitely have to keep the only way the only way they're going to be able to hide, because I feel like their defense is going to be a bend don't break, hopefully mentality.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the Eagles are going to put some points on the board.
Yeah.
So the only way the Chiefs can stay in this, and I'm saying they're going to, is to mix it up and have the Eagles guessing on defense.
Which they can do. I think, especially in, of course, coaching matters. I expect Andy Reid to have 2 weeks to prepare for Andy Reid. I mean, that might you
And
might as well put him in the same conversation as Belichick because he's going
yeah,
to have some stuff that you are
his
not
Waffle
ready
House
for.
playbook, he's going to be ready
Yeah,
to go.
I mean, so I expect the Chiefs. I think it's either going to be tight early
Yeah.
or it's going to be ugly early in favor of the Eagles. That's
Yeah.
at
It's
one of two
definitely
ways, nothing in between for me.
first half could get out of hand. So the Chiefs have to definitely pace themselves early on, because
Yeah,
the Eagles going to come out. You Sirianni ain't slept since the you know week one, so he's game planning right now.
right, right.
So who you got, man? I got a feeling who you're going with. Who you rolling with?
Gotta go with the Eagles, man.
Yep.
Shout to my Philly fam. I think y'all get another chip. And
Burn
kudos
Philly
to
to the ground.
either way. Either way, it's nothing in between. If they lose, it's burned. If they win, it's burned. Hopefully, it snows up there, which is almost a certainty. But I gotta go with the Eagles. I think they get it done. The question for them is which, like every team, you got to keep it together. And I think Jeffrey Lurie has done a good job of keeping that. And shout to him for seeing something in Nick Sirianni that nobody else did.
No one did. Fumbled his press conference. Everyone was laughing at that dude.
Yep,
Well, I'm going Chiefs. I think they got Mahomes
got
magic.
to.
I think Kelsey shines. I think the offensive line does enough. I think Mahomes surprises us with how mobile he is with
All right.
the rest. I
Yeah,
think Valdez Scantley had the feeling of being a number one receiver last week and liked it. So I
yeah.
think he's going to want the ball. I think Tony factors in. I would even like to see him get Tony in the backfield for a couple plays, kickstart this run game. Like he's got that elusiveness, switch it
He
up.
does. He does.
Be a a Debo Samuel kind of guy. So
I
I
could
feel
see
like they
Tony being
game
hurt
planning
involved.
enough. I feel like Sirianni did great to get him here. I think he's a great coach. I think he's got an awesome career in front of him, but I think he gets beat by the vet.
All right, coming through Andy Reid getting, and then Drew, who's gonna be mad at Andy Reid getting another championship?
Whatever burger place is down from his house. I love
Yeah,
how much that man publicly loves cheeseburgers. Just speaks to my heart.
just lean into it. Just lean
Yeah,
into it,
yeah.
man. No, but nah, I love it, man. I think the Chiefs have got a shot, and Tony getting involved only helps them. I think Kelsey's gonna have at least a consistent game, but
Yeah.
I feel like the Eagles, their defense should be ready for him.
The good thing is
Who else is going to beat you?
he takes away somebody from pass rushing on Patrick Mahomes.
That's true.
Someone's got to
That is
guard
true.
him. Someone's
That
got to
is
body
true.
him up. So
Yep.
it's a
Yeah.
plus there, I guess. And
Yeah.
Gray's been playing great. Maybe they pull Reddick from his pass rushing duties a little bit. So we'll see.
I guess talking about the Super Bowl. I guess quickly before we we talk about whatever we're going to talk about next. But I gotta ask, man, like you've lived through this before. What is it like being in a room with somebody who is losing a Super Bowl?
I mean, I've been there myself. I was by
True.
myself. I was in a
It's
room by
true.
myself
Oof.
for the Super Bowl 50. So I've been there.
Ooh.
Like, it is not fun. It's not a good energy.
Oh.
Nothing is as worse as being on opposite teams for the NCAA final, though. That was brutal when Kansas
Yeah.
UNC played last year. That was
Ooh.
you can cut the
Yeah.
tension with a knife. So,
Big games.
yeah,
Big games.
man. So it sucks, like
Yeah.
I'm happy I found someone who's as passionate about sports as I am. So it's nice
Right.
to see her. In a weird way, it's nice to see her that aggravated.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she cares. She
Right.
cares as a fan. She gets it. I've never
Right.
once had to explain to her why I'm upset my team lost.
that underrated.
Yeah,
That is a very underrated because like yeah, I'll be honest, man. I don't think a lot of relationships have that for
right.
sports fans on either way. Like, you know what I'm saying? On either way.
And
So
what's great is I didn't convert her. She was already a sports fan.
got you.
You know, like she when we reconnected, I knew she was going to a lot of Panthers games and
Yeah.
Knights baseball. Like she loves her sports. I didn't put
Yeah.
this on her. If anything,
And
there's days I feel like she's more of a fan than I am.
that which is also an admirable quality in a mate.
Yeah.
Uh and you get extra teams too, which is another
Yeah, yeah.
underrated
I got all the
quality.
Kansas
Yeah,
teams I
like
pull
yeah,
for her. You know, so it's nice.
that's what's up. That's
Nice. Yeah,
cool. That's cool. That you know,
yeah.
but and I'm just a lucky fan who I don't I my team. You know, I guess college basketball aside, but like my football team has never lost a championship when they got there.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
two and zero in the big dance,
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
2-0. Let's make it
That's
3-0
fair.
next time we get there, baby.
We're 0-2, but that's cool. You know, whatever. It's fine.
One
Yeah.
of four teams. One of
Luckily,
four
03 didn't
teams.
hurt me. You know, so a
Yeah,
new fanish. You know, so
yeah,
01 didn't break my soul. If
yeah.
anything, 03 got me hyped about the team. I was like, oh, this team's good. Yeah, all right, I made
It
the right
hurts.
choice.
It hurt Steve Smith though. It hurt
Oh
him.
God, yeah,
Yeah,
it hurt
still hurting him.
DeLone too.
Still hurting him.
But Shawn, man, truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you for doing these 3 seasons with me. I had so much fun talking NFL with you. You're a wealth of knowledge when it comes to this. I don't think there's a kid in the draft that you don't know about every year. So thank you
I
for.
love it.
I just hit you up one day like, you want to do an NFL podcast, and you were completely on board. So I
Yes,
appreciate you. I appreciate all of y'all at home that have listened or watched or subscribed or bought a sticker at a show. Like, just thank you. And Shawn, you got anything you wanna say before we sign
absolutely,
off?
man. Got to thank the people as well. Got to thank you for just putting in all the work, man. Like y'all
Well,
don't
thank you, man.
understand like the amount of work that Drew has to do, especially like when we first before Zoom.
Oh
Like,
man,
oh
those
my god,
files,
like
those
oh,
files,
like
that was
just
nerve wracking in itself.
fitting it in with my schedule and my crazy schedule and my kids and my life and stuff. So Drew puts in a lot of work to get this done. So I cannot thank
Well,
you
thank you.
enough for bringing me into people's homes and people getting to know me and you and
Yeah,
growing your brand, like allowing me to be a part, bro. It's that is special.
yeah.
And that's it's just another thing that makes it like we are real best friends. Like we got a
Yes.
group chat that none of
Talk
you
all
will
the time.
ever be
It's
privy to.
fantastic.
Like we literally talk
We
all
talk
the
about
time.
everything.
Right. So, you know, so I cannot thank you enough, bro.
Well,
Allow me to
thank you, man.
do this, bro. And
Well, I
to the
appreciate you.
yeah, man, thank you. Love you. And to the
Love you
people,
too.
man, like who tuned in, you know, we were never in this for views or likes or anything like that. It just was something that we
Fun
were
talk
probably gonna
football.
do anyway, and we just happened to put it on YouTube. So the people that stuck with us, can't thank you enough, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and
Well,
hit us up. Like we're available on socials all the time, man. And
yeah.
please go
Still
like
want to talk football?
watch all of Drew stuff, but go see him. Like I want y'all to go see
Well,
him. Like
thank you. Yeah.
COVID is over. Get out
I'm
there,
actually
buy
getting
some
all to
tickets,
all
buy some
parts of the
merch.
country. You know, so it's
Yeah.
nice.
Coming to a city near you, man.
Going back to Michigan. Hopefully, no snow this time.
Flights are crazy, bro. You need to
Yeah.
have a backup plan.
Oh, I drove me and little Kia on those ice roads.
Hey,
Scary.
swerving,
Yeah. But
swerving.
no, thank you guys. Just continue to support the channel. I'm sure I'll come up with another weird show to bring y'all soon. In the meantime, he's got my other podcast, My Funny Friends, to listen to, part of the Project Nerd family of podcasts.
Shout Will Abels. Shout Will
Yeah.
Abels.
Shawn knows Will. Good people, know good people. And like always, go check out my special. We're almost at 23K, so I appreciate anyone who's checked that out, shared that with anyone.
I
Uh,
love that.
Continue to watch football. Continue to hit us up. I'll probably still mess around with the Instagram page for a little bit, so still hit us up on there. But yeah, we appreciate y'all, and we'll see you next time.